great guy. He's not here right now. I think he's off working or doing something. He actually did an interview with Joel Larsson, talked about the deck, did a little deck tech with him as well. So we'll see if Grist's Control is really gonna, take it down. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think Ruben is trying to wrestle up another deck tech right now.
Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. I'm excited to watch this match. Joel Larsson is on your right. He came over with a bunch of other players from Europe. Group of 4 of them are traveling around, playing the circuit. It's the summertime, having some fun. Why not?
Yeah.
Young, wild, and free. Is that a song, I think?
I think it might be. And
Young, wild, and free.
Why not be young, wild, and free to Magic Tournament?
Yeah, why not?
Looks like John O is sporting a Coliseum Games shirt down in Norwich, Connecticut.
Yeah. Joel said he actually mulliganed the 5 last match and won versus Blue White Red.
That's surprising.
He said he had to bluff like so many turns. He had to not flash back his thing twice because he didn't want him to maybe cast the Sphinx's Revelation. So it's pretty cool to hear a story like that. So John O is to your left. He's playing Jund. And Joel is to your right playing Grist's Control. And that's really good for Joel that there's no turn 2 Farseek.
Right. Farseek is just the most important card you can have when you're playing Jund. Turn 2 Farseek is so much better than no turn 2 Farseek.
Yeah, exactly. So it looks like John O kept a kind of a slow hand, but a powerful hand.
Right.
And that's something that Jund does a lot, right? It's either going to have a Farseek hand, it's going to have, they're not drawn to Farseek until a Huntmaster, or it's going to either be a removal heavy hand or a slow hand just with a lot of lands and Huntmaster, Olivia, Thragtusk, but they're all coming out turn 4, turn 5.
The mulligan decisions can be pretty tough with Jund because, you say, okay, is he playing aggro? If so, I'm going to automatically lose with my slow but powerful hand.
Yeah, there's a Huntmaster, and I see that there is a far and away, so I think Joel might want to, make him sacrifice the Huntmaster with the Wolf trigger on the stack.
Right.
I think that's what he's going to do. What do you think?
Yeah, it doesn't look like he has anything in the form of sweepers, and I think he just wants to live long enough to be able to max value that Rakdos return.
Yeah, and he does just that. So the Huntmaster will be sacrificed. However, John O will still get a 2/2 Wolf and 2 life. Yep. Life's not too relevant. 2/2 Wolf could do something.
Yeah.
Why not?
Especially if John O draws a Wolf run, say.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. Oh, there's an Essence Scatter. That's pretty good.
That's great against John.
Yeah, especially if John O doesn't. How many Caverns does John O play in his deck? Looks like a big 0. Wow.
None in the sideboard, none in the main deck. Only Kessig Wolf run for special lands.
Okay. So Joel's going to take 2 damage from the Wolf. It looks like this Grixis deck so far has been playing out pretty smoothly. I made a bunch of changes to it last night. I worked on it a lot. So, I hope it continues to keep doing well. And there's that Essence Scatter. A late edition Essence Scatter, actually. So that was about midnight last night, I'll say. Yeah.
Very nice. 1 Essence Scatter.
Yeah.
Showing its value here. That's the only card besides Turn Burn that could 1-for-1 a Thragtusk.
Sure, yeah. Thragtusk is just such a powerful card. I think I'll be happy to see it leave. What do you think?
Yeah, I really don't like that it only cost 1 green. If it cost double green,
it would have been way different.
Yeah.
There's a Rakdos return for 3. Pretty good time to go for a Rakdos return.
Yeah, especially against John that really doesn't play a lot of cards with flashback, so why not do it now? Fire it off.
So is it just land, Tragislip?
I think so. Yeah. Overgrown Tragic Slip. Not really a big deal for Jono.
Yeah.
He doesn't even have a Kessig Wolf run, so those extra lands are pretty useless.
Yeah. Well, he has the Wolf run in play, but he didn't have to discard the Wolf run yet.
Right.
So, all right. So Jonathan will use all his mana. He'll deal Joel 6 points of damage, 5 points of damage this turn. Yeah. Knocking Joel to 13. And Joel will just lay a land and pass the turn.
Yep, Joel might have to use a removal spell on that Wolf token.
Yeah, I believe he has the ultimate price, the one of the ultimate price in his hand, and then he'll want to save the Dreadboard for something more important. Ooh, there's the Rakdos Key Rune. That's pretty good. That's actually good against our deck.
Yeah, that's a really good threat against Joel. He can't ultimate price it.
Yeah, he'll have to either turn burn it or far it away it.
Yeah, he can't Dreadboard it. He can't pillar it.
All right, there's ultimate price. So Joel's definitely looking to draw something here. An Olivia, a Chase, a Think Twice, anything really. Another Rakdos return.
That's an ugly draw for Joel.
Normally pretty good, but here not so much, right?
Yeah, it looks like Drowned Catacomb and a pass. This Key Rune in conjunction with the Wolf run's gonna be chunking Joel.
Yeah, it looked like the game was looking really good for Joel, but just a Rakdos Key Rune later, it's now in Jono's favor by a lot.
Yeah. And yep, he has nothing else to do but go for it.
All right, so that's 5.
Yep, chunks Joel to 8.
All right, Joel's gonna have to find something right here. Ooh, an Augur. Okay, that's something,
that's
right?
A start. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's
Joel's
see if he hits
for a
here.
Turn burn.
Think Twice.
Think twice.
Was it think twice, think twice? Okay, so he thinks I think twice.
Not so bad.
Yeah, really, really tough game. Joel also has to worry about like a bonfire now or a Rakdos return.
Yeah.
He's kind of low on life.
Right. In terms of reach, Jono has 2 Rakdos return. He has 3 bonfire. So
Okay.
not a heck of a lot, but
Yeah. And what's coming down here? Rakdos return for 2. All right, just wants to take rid of that that card that Jono drew last turn, which was a Dreadbore.
okay.
Okay, it's reasonable. And this leaves Joel able to cast his thing twice and maybe flash it back next turn if he needs so. Now, if you're Joel, do you just throw the Augur?
I do, yeah. I mean, the Augur, it's not going to do too much. That's what it's going to end up doing anyway, soak up 3 life.
Yeah, well, the whole thing now is Joel draws into a far and away. He could, have John sack his Rakdos Key Rune, bounce his own Augur, get some value off that.
Okay. Yeah, that's not a bad point. How many far aways does he have?
4 copies of far away.
A full 4? No, maybe you don't then.
Yeah.
Looks like Joel's taking the more conservative line. He's just going to soak up 3.
Yeah, I think I would have think twice before, but maybe he doesn't want to give anything away,
Right.
Knowing that, hey, I don't have a counter or anything. Nighthawk.
I was wondering why he didn't use his key rune or his wolf
Yeah.
run, but
All right.
good. Adds another threat.
It
to
looks
the
like
board.
Joel should still have that Dreadboard hand. I think he's probably going to lead off with that Think Twice first.
Yep.
He really has to find something like an Aether Link to close the game out. Pillar, oh wow. Rakdos Key Rune's a problem.
All these sorcery speed cards, I wouldn't have thought that Joel Larsson's deck was weak to a key rune, but it really is.
Yeah, that's what I talked about. I said, Thundermaw Hellkite's a problem, Aurelia's a problem, because you have so much sorcery speed removal that they're gonna, hit you hard, and you're not gonna have an answer to it.
Right? Maybe this deck here needs more copies of Turn Burn.
Yeah, maybe an extra Turn and Burn. I mean, it is 4 copies of Far and Away, so I chose Far and Away over Turn Burn because of the rise of Ban Hexproof, and it's nice interaction with Augur or Snapcaster.
Yeah. So Jono drops Joel to 2.
Down to Joel's last draw.
Does he? Oh,
No, Steam
nothing.
Vent. And that should be it right there. I mean, Jono was just going to go for it.
Yeah, I can't imagine
Yeah.
him not attacking here.
He really has no other line here. Yep,
Dead.
and that's game.
Wow.
All right, so Joel Larsson loses the first game. Just no answer to Rakdos Key Rune, it looked like.
Yeah, Kessig Wolf Run, it shows how powerful that card is against a control deck right there. Any one creature is such a
It looks like
huge
Joel's
threat.
going to the little note that I gave him.
Ooh.
This sideboard chart, it looks like. So
Looks like looking up.
John's will
looking
give
up.
him a look like, hey, what are you reading there?
Can I see that real quick?
Yeah. So it looks like, if I remember everything correctly, what Joel wants to do, Joel wants to bring in the Tameo. He wants to bring in Sire of Insanity. He wants to bring in Nicol Bolas. He wants to bring in Negate. That's 4. He wants to bring in both Evil Twins. That's up to 6. And both Appetite for Brain. So Joel wants to bring in 8 cards. And he wants to cut the stuff that doesn't really do too much, right? Pillar of Flame doesn't really do that much. Augur of Bolas doesn't really do that much.
Right.
So those cards are definitely going to come out. The Pillars and the Augurs are mostly there for aggressive type strategies. If Augur's not really going to block anything, you don't want it in your deck.
Right, because a pretty decent percentage of the time it's going to miss. I don't know what that percentage is for this deck, but it's probably around 20 to 30, 15 to 20.
Yeah, I
something
mean,
like that.
there's 22 instances of sorcery, so I'm not one that's great at math. But if anybody there on Twitterland is a mathematician, maybe Matthias Hunt. I know he's a math teacher.
Matthias, if you're listening, I know it's not that challenging of a problem, but let us
if there's
know.
22, so it's, I don't know, I think it's difficult. I teach SAT math classes, and I still think this problem is difficult. So we'll see what happens. What's Jono boarding in?
Well, he has a couple ground seals if he wants them. I can't imagine he does. He didn't see any Snapcaster mages. Most of these decks don't even really play that many Snapcasters.
Sure. Well,
Barter and Blood, no. 2 Liliana of the Veil, that'll come in for sure. 2 Underworld Connections, 2 Duress, and an Appetite for Brain. So he has a nice little discard suite, card advantage suite with the Liliana and Connections, and a pair of Rurik Thar too.
yeah. And something that Star City likes to do is likes to feature some of the players, so we can get a background story behind them. Joel Larsson, Joel's a young player, 20, 21 years old. He's from Sweden. He's a student. He has some pretty good finishes. 10th place at PT Nagoya, 2nd place at Pro Tour Gatecrash. He has Grand Prix top 8s, Nationals appearance, and whatnot. All around solid player. And on the other hand, Jono, although you said he has some success, he wanted to list his top finishes as none. All right, so that might give you a little perspective of the type of attitude Jono has. Maybe it's if I'm not first, I'm last.
Yeah,
You know?
maybe. I would say he's played in the maybe 5 or 6 Pro Tours.
Yeah.
Maybe made the money 1 or 2, so nothing to write home about. But still
Yeah, solid.
playing in that many Pro Tours, winning that many PTQs is impressive
and
all by
I mean,
itself.
he's 4-0 right here at one of the SCG Opens.
Yep.
As long as he continues, it will lead him to an invite to Somerset in a couple of weeks. I'm excited for the Somerset Invitational. Are you playing it, Zach? Are you going, and are you going to compete in the Somerset Invitational?
I'm going to compete in the Invitational. I think I've decided what my standard deck's going to be, but at the same time, M14's not out yet. A lot of stuff's going to change.
Okay, well, can you say what deck you want to play, or is it a big top secret?
Oh no, definitely no secret. I would look to play some kind of flash deck, some of
Flash?
the Sphinx's Revelation.
Okay, I like that a lot. I think this really suits your play style, and I think that's important. If you guys are at home, if you guys are watching, you're thinking, hey, what deck should I play at the next Open? What deck should I play in the next hour of a premier event on Magic Online, for example? Whatever it might be. Try to play a deck that really suits your style, because the more fun you have playing Magic, the better you'll do, and the better chance you'll have to succeed in general. Because if someone gives you a combo deck and you're not a combo player, you're gonna be like, I don't really want to play. Your heart's not going to be in it. So when I gave Joel this deck, I felt that he kind of would want to play a deck like this, and so far he's doing good. He is down a game. That game was pretty back and forth. I thought John O was out of it because he has some pretty stinky draws.
Yeah, it seemed like his opener was really strong, but everything else he drew did just about nothing. And it was a good thing he played his Wolfrun early, because the Rakdos return would have put him in a little bit of an awkward spot otherwise.
Sure, yeah, I mean, to be honest, when that Rakdos return resolved, I believe he discarded, like you said, Overgrown Tomb, Tragic Slip, and I think that his remaining card in his hand was just a Rootbound Crag.
Oh, so it wouldn't have really mattered anyway.
Yeah, it wouldn't have too much of a play. After board, who do you think gets an advantage? Do you think it goes for Jono, or do you think it goes for Joel?
I really don't know. I think this is a pretty close matchup. I would say Jono is probably a little bit favored.
Sure.
He has 2 Wolfruns. He has 2 Underworld connections. Those are the big power cards in this matchup.
Okay.
And how about you? Do you think Joel? Do you think your Grixis deck?
Honestly, I think this matchup is really close. At the Super IQ that I ended up winning a couple weeks back, in the top 4 I played against Jund, and the only reason why I won was because my opponent did make a costly game mistake where he did not redirect damage to the Liliana.
Okay.
So he went Rakdos Return You, could have killed my Liliana, ended up didn't killing my Liliana, and I ended up winning because of it.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's definitely a lot of skill involved. Yeah. And to be fair, I technically split the finals, but I got the win, so it was nice.
You got the Planeswalker points.
I got essentially.
So land, and we'll see if Jono has the Farseek on this crucial turn.
I think Joel does have the Izzet Charm though, the one of the Izzet Charm, so we'll see what happens. And I think he's going to go for the Izzet Charm if he has it. Oh,
Yep.
wow.
Yep. Counter the Farseek.
Yeah, maybe Jono doesn't have a red mana?
It doesn't look like he does. I think he has another black-red and a Cavern of Souls.
And that's it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, not a Cavern.
Oh, no Cavern?
It might have been Kesset.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. All right, he's paying 2 life. What is this? Is it a Vampire Nighthawk?
Interesting card to have in after sideboard.
I think I was still Essence Scatter this, though. No? Would you want to go for the Think Twice instead? That's fine.
He might not have a 4th land. Can't quite tell what's in Joel's hand.
Yeah. Was it no 4th land?
Oh, he has 1 land.
Oh, it's Water Grave. Okay. Yeah. So I guess Joel thinks Nighthawk's not that big of a deal. Something more important would be like a Hot Master or a Thragtusk.
Right.
Oh, and there's a Jace.
Okay.
Oh, okay. That's really good right here. He'll pump it up to 5. He'll shut down that Nighthawk pretty well.
That Nighthawk and the Jace will just be playing back and forth there. 4-5, 4-5.
I think Joel could even, go down to 4, then go to 2 just to draw some cards and kind of try to run away with this game.
Yeah, Joel's out of lands at this point too. So if the top of his deck is not a land, he'll pretty much be forced to -2 that Jace and look for a land card.
And I think this definitely shows the power of the Grixis deck. Once you can sculpt it the way you want to sculpt it, take away those pillars, take away those Augur Bolus, and just put more powerful cards and see what it could do. And I mean, it also doesn't help Jono's case that he's color screwed here because of the Farseek.
Right.
Yeah.
That was a crucial Izzet Charm on the Farseek. Jono would be up to 4 mana, the flashpoint for Jund, but instead he's stuck on 3 here.
All right, so there's Jace. I love the Fact of Fictions here. This is like my favorite thing.
Oh, still no land for Joel.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. The deck does feature 26 lands with 2 key runes, so. How would you split this?
It really depends on Jono's hand, what Appetite for Brains is going to hit.
I think it's a Rourke dart in John's hand.
I would.
Maybe he doesn't want to show Joel that he has it. He wants to really surprise him with it.
Yeah. I don't know if you're Jono. I mean, Joel's going to take the pile of 2 almost no matter what it is. So I guess the 2 weakest cards.
Another argument is that maybe he wants to put Faraway separate because he might not know that Joel has another removal to handle a Nighthawk. So in Jono's mind, he might say, hey, if I don't give him this piece of removal, I'm going to kill Jace this turn.
Right.
Because Jace didn't +1 and -2.
With the amount of time that Joel thought about his decision whether to
he does just that, yeah,
or -2, I think you have to put him on a removal spell.
Yeah, and now I think Joel is able to go Appetite for Brains you, leave open Far and Away because he had a second one in hand, right?
So here we go.
We'll see his hand. Wow, yeah, that countering that Farseek was huge. I don't even know what I would take here. I mean, you could take 5 out of the 6 cards, right?
Yeah.
Set that Putrefy away. You can't take that, but it just shows the power of Appetite Brains versus a Jun deck.
It does. I don't think I would take the. I might take the Olivia Valdarin just because I have a Rakdos Return in the hand, so that card is going to let Joel clear away much of the rest of Jono's hand.
So,
maybe just.
So you just want to just kind of cut out in case John draws a land here, a red land. You want him to have no play next turn.
That's right.
Is that it? Okay, that's fine. That's definitely a pretty good argument to take the Olivia. Other than the Olivia, I think probably second choice is Garrick.
Yeah, I think you either take the cheapest card or the most powerful card. So.
Yeah, if you're going for the most powerful card, would you say Rorthar is more powerful than Garrick or no?
That's pretty close.
It is, right? Yeah. Yeah. I guess at home, if you guys want to tweet in, if you guys just are on Twitter, just tweet in. What would you have taken there? It was actually kind of close.
Yeah, it was.
I think I like Olivia, but if you guys want to voice your opinion, why not? Tweet at GFabs5, tweet at SCG. Live, you know,
Zach ZC Hall.
Yeah, ZC Hall. Tweet at all of us.
Cameo drawn for Joel Larsson, but he's
no
still
land.
No
I
land.
think you have to throw away Jace this turn.
Really? Just to find a land?
Just to find a land.
He has a think twice too.
Yeah, but I kind of want to play time. Ooh, okay, there's a land.
Okay.
All right. Zach Hall, the genius. Yeah. All right.
So Jace +1s, and the noose is growing a little tighter for Jono here.
Wow, just nothing for Jono.
Abrupt Decay.
Yeah, I wonder why he has Abrupt Decay in. He didn't see Rakdos Keyrune.
No, maybe he was worried about Liliana of the Veil.
Okay, that's definitely fair. Yeah. On 3 lands.
Wow,
yeah, that's
perfect.
definitely what you want there.
Yeah.
It looks like Joel's in a commanding lead this game. However, Jono, if he gets some lucky top decks, if he draws running lands, Joel's going to have to answer a lot of his threats. And the other thing is, Joel doesn't have a win condition yet, right?
Right, yeah. I mean,
Jace is almost a win condition. Tamio is almost a win condition.
Tamio's a win condition.
It doesn't have
I
the
don't know about
Etherling.
Jace.
Doesn't have the Nicol Bolas, just to really end the game right away.
Yeah, and Jono enters his scoop phase.
Wow,
there.
scoops off a Tamio.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess
he knew that Joel had the Rakdos Return in his hand too, with plenty of lands.
Yeah, okay.
It's a pretty reasonable
that's
scoop.
fair. Yeah, just to save time and everything.
Yeah.
And Jono's attitude, I guess, if you're not first, you're last. He doesn't want to have to fight through that. He just wants to play game 3 and see what happens.
Get further embarrassed on camera there.
Yeah, that's fine.
So these players are going to go to a game 3. None of the games were that close. Neither one. Jono got mana screwed there in the first game. Joel really just couldn't answer a wolf run.
Yeah, I honestly thought the first game was close though. Like if he has lots of outs for Rakdos Keyrune, right?
Yeah, he does.
I mean, he has a Snapcaster Mage. He has Olivia's. He has more Far and Aways. He has Turn and Burn.
Probably about 15 outs, 12 outs, something like that.
Something up there. Like if you're counting Aetherling as an out,
right.
You know, it's a handful of outs there, or cards that could draw into more outs, like a Jace or something.
He was drawing really live that first game, but just couldn't quite do it.
Yeah, and I mean, that's what happens sometimes. All right, so we have some more tweets in from Daniel Justice. He says that you want to, he's asking, do I run Dreadbore for Garrick? I'm kind of confused on his tweet. Maybe Zach can figure this out.
I think he's saying that for the most powerful card, he'd pick the Rurikthar over the Garrett,
okay.
which makes sense because he had the Dreadbore.
Yeah, it doesn't make. Yeah, I guess so. It is really close, but I do like Joel's line of just taking the Olivia, just kind of cutting off Jono's sequencing of turns. I think that's something really important. It's something that Osip talks a lot about when he's on camera. I saw he did coverage a couple times recently with Cedric. It was great to watch. And the one thing that I really liked both of them that they were discussing was sequencings of turns. You know, Cedric's been playing Magic, I don't even know, 15 years. Osip's been playing 15 years. Both players had success in the Pro Tour. And so they both understand the sequencing of turns, which is something really cool to listen to and kind of understand. A long time ago, Finkel, he would always say in interviews, or if you were just to speak with him, he would say, yeah, and other players would say this about him, that he would think turns in advance.
Right. Basically, way more turns in advance than any other player of the time was thinking. And
Yeah.
you know, it's as simple as saying, okay, it's turn 3. Do I want to play my 2-drop, which is better right now, or my 3-drop? And you say, well, I'll play the 3-drop because next turn I'll have 4 lands. I can play 2 2-drops.
Sure.
It's as simple as that. Just really making the most out of all your mana every turn.
Yeah, and now this is a really important match, not only because the winner will move on to 5-0, but both these players are strong players. So, you know, sometimes when you go to a tournament, you'll get some rounds where you're playing against players who might not practice much. They might be, you know, an inexperienced player. But then sometimes you just run against like some powerhouse players, and if you can beat the powerhouse players, you know you're in pretty good shape.
Yeah, I mean, you're
Joel have
effectively
lands.
knocking them out.
Joel only has a 1-lander.
Wow.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I don't think the Grixis deck mulligan's that great. It does have Think Twice to help. It does have Jace to help. But overall, it doesn't have a Sphinx Revelation type card.
Right. It feels pretty weird to say that the Jund deck mulligan's better than the blue control deck, but in this case, it's true.
Yeah.
Jund deck has Thragtusk and Hunt Master and things like that.
Yeah, and especially when you're boarding in cards like Nicol Bolas, you need to have a lot of lands. What happens if Joel draws an opening hand now, and he's on 6 cards, one of them's Nicol Bolas? That's almost like a mulligan.
Yeah, and I'd say that's exactly like a mulligan.
Yeah.
He doesn't have Faithless Looting. He doesn't have any kind of looter effects to even discard that.
The only thing is the Lighthouse. And
The
it's
Lighthouse,
a 1-off, you know? So we'll see if his 6-card hand is better. He is on the draw, which is good and bad in some ways. It's bad because he's on the draw, but it's good because he gets to see an extra card and maybe not miss a land drop because of it.
Especially with the mulligan, yeah.
Yep. So we'll see. He's basically looking for a couple of lands, a Syncopate, and Think Twice.
And if you're just joining us right now, Zach Call and Gerard Fabiano in the booth.
That is not the hand you want.
Yeah,
Jeez,
we're watching Joel Larsson ship it to 5.
Yeah,
in
ship
this
it to
game
5.
3.
Yeah.
And you can see his friends in the background. The grimace right there really says it all.
Yeah.
That was a gross hand.
Yeah, and I felt that Mulligan 5 really put him over the top, and he's shuffling my cards really hard now. Yeah, and I do have a foil Jason there, and a foil Water Regrave that's Japanese. So.
Wow, calling him out on air.
Can we get the judge to tell him to not rip? No, I'm just joking.
Yeah, Joel Larsson, not a happy camper here. 4-0. Jonathan Morawski, 4-0.
Yeah,
These players trying to move on to undefeated, 5-0.
Yeah, going to 5. I mean, Joel's not out of it yet, but when you're going on to 5, you're really going to have to hope for the perfect 5, you know? But as you can see, Joel is still lighthearted. He's joking around with his buddies back there.
Really, all he wants is lands. I think Joel just wants 3 lands. And any 2 cards from his deck.
Yeah, 3 lands, Rakdos, Kieran, Tameo could do it.
Oh boy, that's a good hand right there.
Yeah, but it also really comes down to Jono's hand. If Jono just has a busted draw, it would be really difficult for Joel to win all 5.
Joel taps his deck, he says, come on. He knows how much trouble he's in on the draw versus Jund, a tough matchup.
Yeah, I see 2 lands, so I think he just has to keep that. He can't ask for anything better than 2 lands.
Well,
there's Steam Vents.
I see Rakdos return in Jono's hand, so that's going to be especially brutal with his opponent on 5.
Yeah, no Farsi again. Jono, does Jono play Farsi?
Yeah, he plays the full 4.
Okay, he does. Yeah, it's joking around, but you know, sometimes you got to ask.
Ooh, another Thragtusk. So Jono really doesn't have the best draw here. Joel's not out of this yet.
Yeah, but I mean, Jono's draw is very powerful, so I don't know what Jono's going to do to combat this, really, right?
Yeah, Joel's sitting on Far and Away right here. Far Away, Aetherling, Rakdos return Olivia. So that's a powerful hand. If he can just buy enough time to get to the late game.
Yeah, I don't know. So what is this, a Hunt Master coming down? I think he's probably going to have to make him sacrifice this with the Wolf on the Stack, no?
Doesn't look like it.
He doesn't do it?
I think he wants to save that Far and Away for its full value for 5 mana. He thinks, I'm behind so many cards.
Really? All right, there's Olivia. Maybe John doesn't have an answer to Olivia? Is that possible?
Post-board, I mean, the Jund deck shouldn't have that much removal in them. So
yeah.
I think Joel's just rolling the dice here.
No, there's a Dreadbore.
Yep.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for Joel. I think Joel was really relying on that Olivia, especially when you mulligan down to 5. You need a card like Olivia that can actually just take over the game by itself.
Yeah, I really like Joel's play, though, of not casting the Far.
Really?
Yeah, because if the Olivia sticks, he still has that Far and Away, and if it doesn't stick, that's turn 5, and now he can cast both halves. So it really doesn't cost him all that much.
Yeah. I mean,
because it's not like you're going to play Aetherling on turn 5. That's not a good play.
Or turn 6.
Right. Yeah.
With like tapping out, essentially.
Yeah. That's going to tap out.
That's a fair argument. Now, if you're Jono, do you play Thragtusk, or do you just Dreadbore that Olivia?
I think I get rid of that Olivia right now.
There's also a Rakdos return for 3 he could do, just to... That Rakdos return could be a beating.
Yeah, next turn I think the return will get Joel's whole hand, so I like waiting for on the return.
Yeah. Joel draws a
Lighthouse.
Lighthouse.
That's pretty good.
Maybe Joel has to Rakdos return for 3 here? I think he might have to.
Jono has 4 in hand?
No, for 3. I like this play by Joel. He's got 4. Yeah, he has 4 in hand, but he's doing it for 3. I really like this line.
Yeah, and now...
And if you're Jono, I think he has to keep Rakdos return, and now it's just a top deck war, where Jonathan is in a great shape because of the mulligan at 5. But if it wasn't the mulligan for 5, look how this game would have been different.
Yeah, Joel Larsson would be in pretty good shape. He wouldn't have had to Rakdos return this turn if he didn't want to.
Yeah.
He could instead far and away. I really... this is impressive how Joel has kind of crawled back in this game with that return.
Yeah, he's going to need a lucky top deck here. There's a Rakdos return. I don't know what could be on top. Tamiyo would be a start.
Far away. Turn burn's okay. Really, any spell to keep that Huntmaster from flipping.
Yeah.
Rakdos Keyrune would be great right now.
It would be okay. The problem is that Huntmaster could flip. We grouped 5 mana together. I don't know what it could be though. Jono did draw another Huntmaster last turn, which was an excellent draw. So Joel is just... What is...
Snapcaster?
Is it a loot?
Okay.
Oh, there's a Nicol Bolas.
Oh, he drew an Appetite for Brains.
Oh, he takes the Huntmaster. That's okay.
That's just fine. All
right, he's gonna need Jono to brick here. He needs a land from Jono or Farseek. He's like, draw your Farseeks now, you know, when they don't really matter.
Yeah, when he can't even play him because of Huntmaster.
Yeah. There's a Blood Crypt.
Well,
okay.
That's
all right. So right now it's Tamiyo or bust, I think. Just a syncopate. Wow. And yeah, that's game. Joel multi-5. Not much he could have done there, really.
No,
you know?
he put up a pretty good fight. That game was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
A slower draw from Jono plus a Rakdos return.